It is in his art that man is able to interpret and give meaning to things he sees, feels, and hears. There are times when ideas which are difficult to understand are simplified by means of an artwork. Religious art in the Philippines is a result of cross-cultural influences coming from the arts of Spain, China, Mexico, and other European countries. Spanish explorers, missionaries, and some others brought religious items and images to guide them in their expeditions. One of Spain's built legacies in the Philippines are churches where religious art could be seen from the doors, ceilings, floors, retablos, and more where silver and or gold are prominently used. Cavite has old churches and other religious relics. Churches of more than 100 years old, for example, that of Nuestra Señora de Candelaria in Silang, Nuestra Señora de la Asunción in Maragondon, Nuestra Señora del Pilar in Imus, La Immaculada Concepcion in Naik, La Immaculada Concepcion of Dasmarinas, Parish of Santísimo Rosario of Rosario, and Nuestra Señora de Guia of Magallanes still exist. Enshrined in these churches are religious images preserved and maintained through the years. Most popular among the images being venerated is the Blessed Virgin Mary. To give the Virgin the beauty and elegance it deserves is one of the concerns of parish priests, owners, caretakers, or camareras. During Mary's feasts and subsequent processions, her floats decorated with flowers and clothed with gowns and accessories that may cost thousands of pesos. Such a big amount, but the owner or camarera need not worry, because the faithful give donations and more. Based on the origin myth, the image of the Blessed Virgin was found by Andres, a native in the mountains of Silang, in 1640. The beauty of the lady captivated a friend of Andres and asked for it. A temporary place of worship was built for her. She was properly adorned. People heard about her, made visits, and obtained the consolations they needed for their afflictions and necessities. The image of Nuestra Señora de Candelaria, patroness of the town of Silang, at the facade of the church structure, is described as a polychrome. The statue in the main retablo is de Bastidor. It is also often used to mean the cone-shaped wooden framework, more accurately called andador, on which the skirt of the santo is mounted. According to Aviado, the community of early devotees had her dress of beaten silver and for her feast a crown of gold, other jewels, and other ornaments. As of 1995, the Virgin has more than 300 garments used alternately. The cloths used are either velvet, lace, or brocade. Usually the colors are blue and white, which symbolizes purity. Presently, Silang Church has 3 altar retablos: the main altar retablo, epistle transept retablo, and gospel transept retablo. They are 3-storied and divided into sections of alternating niche, relief, niche. The main retablo features the mysteries of the Rosary and the life of the Virgin Mary. Mary being crowned by the Trinity, Mary visited by shepherds at Nativity, Mary greeted by Gabriel at the Annunciation, the Gospel Transept altar has the women saints. These are reliefs of Catherine of Alexandria with the wheel of her martyrdom, and Teresa of Avila as if she's falling down, as rays from heaven strike her. The Epistle Transept retablo depicts the Jesuit saints and Blessed Saint Ignatius Loyola, holding an open book and a standard. Stanislaus Kostka holding the Christ child. A novena dedicated to the Virgin Mary that is honored in Silang was written by Antonio Florentino Puansen in 1884. Maragondon was at first a visita of Silang. It was administered by the Franciscans until 1611. It became a parish in 1627 with Nuestra Señora de la Asunción as its patroness. In 1768, the seculars started the administration. The Recollects took control in 1860. On June 31, 2001, the parish of Maragondon was declared National Cultural Treasure pursuant to Presidential Decree No. 374 by the National Library. Its elevation makes it unique among the churches constructed during the administration of the Jesuits. Usually, the facade has a squat shape, but that of Maragondon's is narrow and tall. The pillars tape upwards, appearing to soar up and sway. The front door of the church was completed in 1618. The wood carvers used malave, and the door's panel had bas-reliefs of flowers of various shapes and tree of life, both detailing the produce of the town. Other highlights were a galleon and a tower with banners flying. The interior of the church illustrates simplicity. In 1620, the people of Maragondon shared resources and accumulated 70 pesos to buy the image of the Blessed Virgin Mary. There are 3 statues of Nuestra Señora de la Asunción in the parish. The original statue has missing fingers. The face of the Virgin projects 2 emotions. Looking from left, the Virgin seems happy and smiling, while at the right side, the Virgin appears to be sad and solemn. Second image in the retablo is the Virgin called Birheng Nakatayo. She is looking up at the heavens. Her face and hands of the Virgin are made of ivory. The face of the third image, which is the Birheng Nakaupo, or seated Virgin, is also made of ivory. It was said that the image of the Virgin was based on the wealthy and attractive daughters of Chinese merchants and Mexican galleon traders. Devotees donate dress and other accessories. There is no specific cloth or material for the dress. Assumption is every August 15th. It begins with a novena. After the novena, a Mass is celebrated. The Nuestra Señora de la Soledad de Porta Vaga, formerly in the Ermita in Cavite Puerto, now in San Roque, Cavite City, is one of the canonically crowned Marian images in the Philippines. She was crowned on November 17, 1978 by Most Reverend Bruno Torpigliani, Apostolic Nuncio to the Philippines, through the request of Parish Priest Monsignor Baraquiel Mojica, together with the Bishop of Imus, Felix Paz Perez. Don Arturo Maniala, a devotee, donated the golden crown encrusted with precious stones. Tradition claims that Mary, the mother of Jesus, sought entrance through Porta Vaga to Cavite Puerto circa 1667. Fishermen and workers at the Cavite Royal Arsenal found an image of the Virgin near Vaga Gate. At the back of the image is an inscription: A 12 de Abril 1692, años puso esta santísima y milagrosa imagen aquí por Juan de Oliva. The most holy image was placed here on April 12, 1692 by Juan de Oliva. The Nuestra Señora de la Soledad de Porta Vaga is a painting of the Mother of Jesus on a piece of tightly woven fine linen. Clad in mourning clothes, she seems to be contemplating while kneeling. The image has metallic decoration. In front of her are the instruments of the Passion like the crown of thorns and the nails. Father Thomas de Andrade, a Jesuit, wrote a poem entitled Himno a la Virgen de Cavite, from which the lyrics of the hymn Reina de Cavite were taken. Andrade was assigned in Cavite between 1669 to 1689. He served as rector of Colegio de Cavite. Reina de Cavite, por siempre serás. Esplenda tu nombre de júbilo y paz. La nación entera con culto filial. Tus glorias pregona, tu imagen venera, y en tu honor entona un himno triunfal. Consuelo del justo, luz del pecador, nuestras penas calma y en tu trono a gusto. De piadosas almas oyes el clamor. Como la heroína, gozo de Israel, eres nuestra gloria, princesa divina, que das la victoria a tu pueblo fiel. Madres Inmaculada, pres del serafín, luz de Filipinas, oh Virgen sagrada, haz que haya en el cielo te un reino sin fin. Siempre serás, esplenda tu nombre, de júbilo y paz. Madre Inmaculada, pres del serafín, luz de Filipinas, protégenos sin fin. Luz de Filipinas, protégenos sin fin. Cofradia logo includes the Hospice Maria insignia to signify the group's total consecration to Mary, our Mother. In the middle is an image of the Soledad signifying love and ardent devotion to the specific title of Mary. Above her shall be the cross, crown of thorns, and her sorrowful Immaculate Heart, which affirms the Soledad as a sorrowful Virgin Mother who silently accepts with faith the death and sufferings of her only Son, Jesus Christ. At the bottom is the name of the organization, Cofradia de la Virgen de la Soledad de Porta Vaga. Hospice Maria AM monogram symbolizes the organization's love and dedication to Mary, Our Lady of Solitude. The crown of thorns and the 3 nails, which are also found in front of the Virgin in the original icon, also symbolize the group's devotion to her sorrows. The 3 stars affirm the Virgin of Solitude's age-old title as the Luz de Filipinas, while the 2 angels supporting the shield likewise depict the angels found in the original icon. The crown that surmounts the shield and the inscription below give reference to her affirmed title as the Queen of the Province of Cavite Procession. After Good Friday at the Parish of San Roque, the Cofradia has the Procession del Silencio, where the participants wear black and walk barefooted following the original icon of the Holy Virgin of Solitude of Porta Vaga. The devotees believe that through this activity, they condole and share in the sorrows of Our Lady, thus putting into heart Christ's love for us. The Royal Cedula of 1766 was annulled by another decree, thus the Imus of Parish was formally established by virtue of Royal Order of 1795. Father Francisco de Santiago, Orsa, served as the first cura colado. The parish of Imus separated from the spiritual jurisdiction of the Jesuits of Cavite, the mother town, in 1795. The image of the Nuestra Señora del Pilar became the patroness of the parish of Imus on October 3, 1795. On December 3, 2012, the Nuestra Señora del Pilar was canonically crowned by His Eminence Luis Antonio G. Cardinal Tagle, D.D. STHD at Imus Cathedral. In the heat of the afternoon, the church, patio, and plaza were crowded with devotees, pilgrims, spectators, and bystanders. The Palma family is given the privilege of being the recamadero of the image because of propagating the devotion to the Nuestra Señora del Pilar of the Diocese of Imus. The fifth and present representative of the caretaker family is Mrs. Ellen Maluto Palma Sosa. Ellen works together with the members of a pious organization called Servants and Handmaids of Our Lady of the Pilar. The Our Lady of the Pilar is 2 feet in height. The image is screwed on the base made of baticuling wood with silver outer casing. There is no specific ritual being done before changing the dress of the Virgin. A certain Ma'am Tura from Santa Cruz during the 50s made the dresses of the Virgin. After dressing up the Virgin, which happens every October 10th, the Novena and the Rosary are recited. It was in late 18th century when reverse painting of the eyes became a trend. The eyes were carved, and then a glass was inserted which made her eyes open widely. The eyelashes are made from dog's fur, which is hard. The image of the Virgin had an encarna in 2008. The Virgin carries a Santo Niño who, in turn, is seen carrying the earth. Both the Virgin and the Santo Niño have silver crowns. It is during her fiesta that the caretakers put on the original crown made of pure silver with gold plating. Although the priest does not want to dress up the Virgin, it is believed that Our Lady gives signs through dreams to devotees, and in return, the devotees would donate a complete set of garments. A dress costs 20 to 25,000 pesos or more. Upon the suggestion of Miss Ellen, sponsors will buy blue with gold or silver colors for the Virgin's dress. The caretaker is keeping more than 200 sets. The earliest was donated in 1940. Designs of the dress are usually hand-painted and embroidered. Some use metallic gold trimmings and thread. The Virgin has already a dress until 2015. The Our Lady of Pilar has many crowns, hairpieces, and accessories including diamond earrings. The hairpiece is made from husi or piña. At times, human hair is also used. The wigs are kept in a cabinet with a piece of gugo believed to absorb moisture and prevent insect infestation. 9 days prior to the feast day of Nuestra Señora del Pilar, novena prayers are recited at the Imus Cathedral. A Mass follows each novena. Details of the daily novena are delegated to different church organizations and families of the parish or diocese. The same novena prayers are recited in all communities in the parish, with the Mass being observed on the last day. The hymn to the Virgin of the Pilar is sung at the end of each novena Mass. was a visita or small chapel from 1693 to 1768 under the spiritual jurisdiction of Nuestra Señora de la Asunción of Maragondon. The parish was created independent with the Immaculate Conception as patroness in 1796. Miguel de la Cruz was the first parish priest, while Jose de los Reyes was the first cura capellan. The parish received support from the Dominican-owned hacienda. The church has two images. One is permanently consecrated at the main altar, and the other is the image being used during procession every December 7th and 8th. The image referred to in this research video is the image of the main altar. The La Immaculada Concepción in Naik is de bulto and detallado. The image is carved from hardwood that cannot be found in the Philippines. She has an aureola with 12 stars representing the 12 apostles and the 12 tribes of Israel. The colors used are white for purity, red for martyrdom or great faith, expectance, purple for mourning, repentance, and gold for radiance and splendor. The image is life-sized, stands on a 1-foot original stainless base with moon and sun. Faithful used to dress up the Virgin. The garments and accessories were donated, and the cloths were bought in Divisoria while some came from Europe. She used to have earrings, necklace, and wigs too. It was Dolores Poblete Valenzuela who changed the dress of the Virgin on special occasions at the Altar Mayor because the Immaculada is too heavy to be moved to another place. During the administration of Father Nestor Abad, people took turns in dressing up the Virgin. They were given the opportunity to be part of the team who would change the Virgin's dress and to have their photo taken after. The task is done on a Saturday. The Sacristan Mayor helped. It took an hour to dress up the Virgin. The dress of the image reflects the traditional color of Immaculada Concepcion, which is a white gown with blue cape. She was then accessorized, but the hairpiece was seldom changed. Afterwards, she is sprayed with perfume. However, when Father George Morales became the parish priest, he simply had the detailed sculpture. During the Japanese occupation of the Philippines, after the belfry was hit from Corregidor, the image was brought to the house of Rosa Calles Villanueva for safekeeping. It was returned to the church after the war. The image of the Virgin was repainted in 1945, courtesy of Domingo Poblete. The Virgin had a halo with 12 stars, donated by former Governor and Mrs. Juanito Remulla in 1996. Also, it was in 1996 that the Virgin changed dress 3 times on December 8, during Lent, and Flores de Mayo because of many donors. Ryan and Sebastian of Naik Historical Society mentioned that when the church was bombed during the Japanese period, the Virgin's left cheek was slightly scarred. She underwent reencarna in 1971. Every May 31st, the Hermana Mayor offers garlandang sampaguita and bouquets of roses or orchids pinned on the breast of the Virgin. This is called puso or heart. Such activity started in 1929. Devotees believed that the shawl of the Virgin could heal illness. It was used as blanket of the sick, and the patient was miraculously healed. Another story was that General Aguinaldo would always see the Virgin. The church is just beside the Casa Hacienda and the house of Captain Yoyo Hokson. It was in 1996 when the parish became the diocesan shrine of Immaculada Concepcion. Devotion to La Immaculada Concepcion in Naik is held every first Saturday of the month. From Luzon, a big church was built for Nuestra Señora del Rosario at the present site in the Poblacion years after. The church has 3 bells which are still used today. The first has this inscription, Nuestra Señora del Rosario, D. 1845. After 9 years, 2 others were added with this dedication. El Presbítero Don Leonzo Basilio Endono, 100 pesos por esta campana, de Nuestra Señora del Rosario, D. 1854. The other one has this engraving, Es Momento Obispo de Viena de Salinas, Anno D. 1854. The image of Nuestra Señora del Rosario was a work of Filipino brush, according to Antonio Nazareno of Cavite City and president of Antique Dealers Association of the Philippines then. He was a devotee of the Blessed Virgin Mary. The face of the Virgin is very Filipino, which is considered rare in Philippine iconography. Furthermore, Nazareno credited the painting to Faustino Quiotang. In the Philippines, the veneration of Our Lady under the title of the Rosary began in 1587 when her image was brought to the archipelago. It is believed that the Nuestra Señora del Rosario had a crucial role in the Spanish victory at sea against the attacks of the Dutch in Manila in 1646, hence the name La Naval. The celebration in honor of the Nuestra Señora del Santísimo Rosario de Caracol lasts for more than 5 hours. It is a long land and fluvial procession from the Poblacion, specifically from the church, to Barangay Wawa. Usually from Wawa, the image is boarded to a decorated fishing boat to be brought to Barangay Luzon to commemorate her first arrival. Afterwards, the venerated icon is returned to the parish for another Eucharistic celebration. This year, the water route was cancelled due to the water level. From year 2002 to date, Royce has been taking care of the embroidered garments and accessories of the Blessed Virgin. The Aledia family owns that image, and it is designated as the Viajera. Gubat belongs to a generation of devotees. His grandfather and his father were caretakers of the Virgin. This responsibility was transferred to him when he decided to settle in Dasmarinas and establish his roots in 1991. La Immaculada Concepcion in the city of Dasmarinas was Esperidion Areval's work of art. The whole body was carved from hardwood. It is like a mannequin. Its arms can be moved. It is slightly tiptoed on the globe. The globe is attached to the pedestal using fiberglass pipe. The image from head to foot is 1 meter high if standing on the base with a crown that has 12 stars. The crown is made of silver with gold plating. Lately, the Virgin wears American fancy jewelry. Its real jewelry is being kept by one of the caretakers for security reasons. The camarera uses white color to represent purity and blue for peace. Since the image is already old, light cloth or material is used for her dress. Many devotees offer to sew the dress, but it is Aling Huling Ciudad who has the opportunity. She does not charge any amount for the task. At times, embroidered dresses usually bought in Divisoria are provided too by devotees. The camarera selects which earrings, necklace, hairpiece, and crown will be worn. The Virgin has permanent eyelashes made from human hair, painted with color appropriate to her looks. The eyes are made of glass. She wears imported synthetic hair. Through the years, a number of dresses have been accumulated. At the back of each dress are the year and sponsor's name. The camarera and other caretakers dress the Virgin in a place where no one can see what they are doing, usually in the sacristy. The important task is done on September 8, on her feast every December 8, Flores de Mayo, and Linggo ng Pagkabuhay or Easter Sunday. The old image Nuestra Señora de Guia of Magallanes, Cavite was made of ivory, but it disappeared. The present image is made of wood. It has undergone repair. The base was changed from a cloud-like to a pandan pedestal. Usually done in November, the image of Nuestra Señora de Guia visits a barangay and stays at the chapel for 3 days. The first day involves the transfer of the image from one barangay to another. On the second day, a catechist will go to the chapel for the catechesis. The third day is usually devoted to Mass. This visit runs for almost 2 months. May isang ina naghahatid ng pag-asa at saya kung may hapis. Sa paglalakbay, siya'y gumagabay. Sa ating pag-uwi, may awit siyang hatid. Tanglaw ka namin, kaming nasa dilim, at kung may unos, yung yakap ang angkin. Sugat namin ay hagkat pagalingin, turo mo't gabay aming baon at aliw. O inang mahal, sa'yo ilalapit, ang naisin naming mabuhay ng matuwid. Sa iyong anak na nagbigay buhay, baguhin ang aming pusong matampuhin. O Inang Maria, puspos ka ng biyaya, ilakip sa dasal ang bayan mong mahal. Sa lupit ng buha, kami bigyang tatag, muhi sa aming sala, gawing bagong lakas. Nuestra Señora de Guia, inang sinisinta, inang dinarangal. Nuestra Señora de Guia, dinggin ang dasal ng bayang sa'yo'y nagmamahal. O Inang Maria, puspos ka ng biyaya, ilakip sa iyong dasal ang bayan kong mahal. Remember, O most gracious Virgin, that never was it known that anyone who fled to your protection, implored your help, or sought your intercession was left unaided. Inspired by this confidence, I fly unto you, O Virgin of Virgins, my Mother. To you I come, before you I stand, sinful and sorrowful. O Mother of the Word incarnate, despite my petitions, but in your mercy, hear and answer me. Amen. Nuestra Señora de Guia, pray for us. The Capuchins bought a piece of land in Tagaytay on October 14, 1938. A small wooden house was built to be the rest house of Capuchin missionaries. Seeing the need of the people for spiritual nurturing, the Capuchins opened a public oratory for the faithful of Tagaytay to take part in the liturgical services of the friars. The Archbishop of Manila did not only grant the permission but suggested the establishment of a parish in the newly created city of Tagaytay. The good fathers accepted the challenge, completed the requirements, and the decree of erection of the new parish in Tagaytay City was issued on June 27, 1940. The parish was inaugurated on August 4, 1940. Father Rogelio Bedonia, OFM Cap, became the first parish priest. The Blessed Virgin Mary wears a white garment from head to toe with a sky blue sash on the waist. She has an aureola, a crown of 12 stars, a rosary hanging on her arm, and a rose on her foot. The image of Our Lady of Lourdes in the new constructed church was of fiberglass. She does not have hairpiece, clothes, jewelry, or crown. The Virgin is standing barefooted on a cloud, like a base. Birheng kalinis-linisan, mahal na Birhen ng Lourdes, at hikaing gawin ang nabenang ito ng lubos na kataimtiman. Sa pagtalima sa tawag mo sa lahat ng iyong mga anak, umuluhod kami sa iyong paanan upang dinggin ang iyong tinig, upang isiwalat sa iyo ang aming mga kailangan at upang hingin ang iyong tulong. Aba, Ginoong Maria, Birhen ng Lourdes, ipanalangin mo kami. O kalinis-linisang Birhen ng Lourdes, isinasamo namin sa iyo na kami tulungan upang ang aming pananampalataya ay lumago araw-araw at kami maging kasangkapan ng pagbabalik loob ng mga nadidiliman at nang sa ganyo'y aming mapalaganap ang kaharian ng Diyos sa balat ng lupa. Palayasin mo, mahal na Birhen, ang espiritu ng kamalian sa lahat ng mamamayan ng aming bansa, lalo na sa lungsod na ito ng Tagaytay, upang ang lahat ay mabuhay ayon sa pananampalatayang Kristiyano at manatiling nakikiisa sa Iglesia Katolika hanggang kamatayan. Aba, Ginoong Maria, napupuno ka ng grasya, ang Panginoong Diyos ay sumasa iyo. Bukod kang pinagpala sa babaeng lahat, pinagpala naman ang iyong anak na si Jesus. Mahal na Birhen ng Lourdes, ipanalangin mo kami. The Virgin is brought to each barrio, and the faithful express their devotions through various activities. Each visit begins with the celebration of the Mass and ends with Rosary devotion and praise. She is paraded to the barrios through a procession. The National Shrine of Our Lady of La Salette was a promise fulfilled by Father Fred Julian, M.S. Father Julian promised Our Lady to erect a shrine in her honor should she help him survive the battle among U.S. paratroopers and Filipino guerrillas against the Japanese soldiers that morning on February 23, 1945. On September 19, 1846, while tending cows, Melanie Galvat Matthew and Maximine Giraud encountered a glowing globe of light, and a beautiful woman sitting on a rock appeared, weeping because, according to her, the offenses of men will result in calamities, including famine and disease. The appearance of Our Lady of La Salette is one of the universally recognized apparitions. Seen at La Salette, the Blessed Virgin Mary wore the chains to stand for penitence, the cross for the Eucharistic sacrifice, and the roses for the Rosary. More so, the garlands of roses have come to represent the joyful, sorrowful, and glorious mysteries of the Holy Rosary. The fiesta is looked forward to and celebrated every September 19th. A day before the feast, last September 18, 2012, a final novena Mass was held at 5 in the afternoon. The Memorare as a prayer is attributed to Saint Bernard, but seemingly it is part of a long prayer first recorded at the end of the 15th century, in 1489, by Nicholas Salicetus in his Antidotarius Animae. It became popular because of the enthusiasm of Claude Bernard, known as the Poor Priest, from 1588 to 1641. Primary symbol of devotion among Caviteños is the image of the Virgin. For the devotees, the image itself is not just a representation of Mary, but Mary herself. As B.M. Mangubat said, when changing the dress of the Blessed Virgin, no one should look. Through the image, the devotees talk to her and thank her. Most of the devotees affectionately refer to her as Mahal na Birhen or Beloved Virgin, Nana as in Nana Pilar or Nana Choleng, or Mahal na Ina or Beloved Mother. This motherly affection toward the Virgin is reflective of our identity as Filipino Catholics. Most of the images are clothed with beautiful vestments and have accessories, both real and fancy jewelries. The Our Lady of the Pilar has a whole house, popularly called Palma House, a storage for her sets of garments, hair pieces or wigs, crowns, earrings, eyelashes. The design of the vestments ranges from simple but elegant to elaborate and grandiose. There are hand-embroidered, first-class, and machine-embroidered. One garment has silver metal plates attached to it. The vestments are usually donated by devotees who would like to thank or ask the Virgin a favor. They symbolize the devotees' capacity to sacrifice and share their material blessing to the Virgin. The andas or karosa or karo is another symbol closely associated with the image of the Virgin. Three of the images, Porta Vaga, Del Pilar, Immaculado Concepcion of the city of Dasmarinas, have karosa intended only for them and cannot be used for any other image. The andas or karosa represents the pedestal where the Virgin is placed atop. It symbolizes the place of Mary in the consciousness of the devotees. It places the Virgin above them, a stature that everyone should aspire for. In Cavite, there are two ways of dancing the caracol. The first one originated in the parish of Our Lady of the Most Holy Rosary in Rosario. It is spontaneous, very personal, solemn, and prayerful. You pray with your own body. There is no preconceived movement. You just let your body do the praying with the movement of your hand, your feet, your hips, your whole body. You let the moment lead you. The second, which is becoming more popular, is the choreographed caracol. There are lead dancers who rehearse a set of movement and use the same throughout the procession. It is more festive, more colorful, with more common movements than the one in Rosario. Insignias represent the uniqueness of each organization as well as the values that each member is challenged to live out. They point to the identity of the organizations that help popularize the devotion to the Virgin in Cavite, like the servants and handmaids of the Our Lady of the Pilar. The Cofradia de la Soledad de Porta Vaga Incorporated and the Hermanidad of the Nuestra Señora de Guia, whose members are the former Hermana Mayors of the Flores de Mayo celebration in the parish. They also mention kissing or touching the image or part of it as a way to feel the presence of the Virgin in their lives. In some churches, there are even stairways made at the back of the retablo where the image of the Virgin is placed for the faithful to enter so they can kiss or touch a piece of the vestment or a lace attached to it. Marian devotion will not be as popular without the rituals associated with it. The praying of the Rosary is the most common ritual that is associated with the Virgin. There are also novena prayers of various length and format. There is the so-called Dalaw Birhen, Dalaw Patron, or Virgin Visitation, where the image of the Virgin called the Viajera would be brought to the different barrios, barangay, or districts of the parish for a period of time where various activities like seminars, novenas, prayer services, and the like are conducted by and for the community. The Marian symbols that mediate the presence of Mary among the devotees include the images of the Virgin, poems, songs, and prayer dances in honor of her. There are also sacred objects used and rituals done to further express their love and devotion to the Blessed Virgin. Animated by an attitude of faith, such external practices manifest the particular relationship of the faithful with the divine persons or the Blessed Virgin Mary in her privileges of grace and those of her titles, which express them, or with the saints in their configuration with Christ or in their role in the Church's life. Two are canonically crowned. These are the Nuestra Señora de la Soledad de Porta Vaga in November 17, 1978, and the Nuestra Señora del Pilar in December 3, 2012. Two others had symbolical coronation. For example, Nuestra Señora del Rosario on October 20, 1995, and La Immaculada Concepción of Dasmarinas in December 7, 2002. The seemingly plurality of titles, endearing names, whole year observance of feast days, and devotional rituals, Mary is a unifying force in the religiosity and spirituality among the faithful and devotees in parishes and shrines identified as manifesting singularity. At the end, what matters most is a tremendous faith and trust in God, in Jesus through the intercession and guidance of the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Mother of God.
Every Saturday yan, pagkatapos ng Rosary, meron kaming devotional prayer sa Immaculate Conception.
Yung pa Father kayo gumawa?
Hindi naman, inabot ko na rin yun. Tapos, we have the Mass. After that, every Saturday, we have the Salve. And the Salve here is not ordinary Salve. It was locally composed.
The liturgy.
No, yung Salve mismo. It's not
Hindi,
yung
Salve
original. It's a different tune, particularly kasi ang composer.
Yun ang first miracle of the Virgin Mary. Nabuhay siya. Yun ang hindi alam ng tao.
Kaya,
Nagpakita siya sa Saragossa, Spain.
na nasa itaas ng ano?
Na nasa itaas ng marble na
Pillar.
pilar. Kaya siya Our Lady of the Pillar.
Okay.
Yun. Nasa marble siya tumayo na may mga kasama siyang angel. Kaya siya naging Our Lady of the Pillar.
And nasa
hanggang sa maikot niya yung maikat ng Mahal na Birhen yung mga barangay. Tapos kasabay nung dalaw patrona yung pagbababa nung catechesis na nanggaling sa diocese.
ay,
Katulad nung Karakol, di ba, 3 taon yon. Yung naibaba yun sa barangay sa pamamagitan ng dalaw patrona.
ilang araw tumitigil ang malabir.
Usually 1 week nag-i-stay
Sa isang barangay.
sa isang barangay, sa
Tapos
isang
yun, sa kapilya lang.
Sa chapel
Hindi
po.
umiikot sa mga bahay-bahay.
Hindi na po. Pero yung mga tao nagpupunta ng chapel, nag-take turn sila para mag-novena. Tapos yung ibang barangay, ang alam ko minsan nagbi-vigil din sila. Bago kunin yung patron, nagbi-vigil yung mga
Overnight.
tao, nag-overnight. Kaya yun.